When I look back on all that history and all that time and what happened down there of people being killed and shot and murdered and burnt to the ground, that was during a time when blacks were forced to live together. So since they spent their money amongst themselves, that black dollar would go around 30 times in that community. They had hotels, banks, they had airplanes, and it was Black Wall Street of America, of the world. It started off as a Tulsa race riot. It wasn't a riot, it was a massacre. The first time I heard about it, probably when I was grown, because it wasn't taught in the schools, it wasn't talked about in the community, and most of us didn't know anything about it. My grandfather, Joe Eaton, had a shoe shine stand down there on Greenwood, and I guess when the massacre took place, he was probably in his early 20s or something like that. He came over here on Norfolk Avenue and built a home right here. And then he built the building where the barbershop was. And it's a duplex. There's one side of it that he put together for family, where the radio station is right now. Bobby Eaton Sr. is my dad, who's been here in the community for several years doing activism. He worked along the sides of my grandfather. And so I was able to catch some of the very end of Black Wall Street. I remember that all these African-American iconic men in the community would come into that barbershop to get their hair done. They come in there and they be talking about economic developments, and they be talking about jobs. They'll be talking about everything that you can even imagine in a barbershop. The barbershop is inoperative, so nobody goes in there. It's very sentimental to my dad, so I don't even really go in there. But I'm in the radio station, which is next door, the property which Grandpa had for family. My mother passed away in 2018. She was the love of my life. She supported me in everything that I've ever done. And my dad is still alive. He's here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. He's 85 years old. And you can catch him down on Greenwood on any given day. At first, I didn't want to move back to Tulsa because I know Tulsa was very highly racist. Being African American, moving back to Tulsa, you have to create something for yourself. And when I came back here, wasn't a lot of music to be played. So I had to really actually reinvent myself. So I said, well, we got bad communication here in Tulsa, so I'm going to open up a radio station, and that's just what I did. You can tune in to our radio station via FM radio, internet radio, live stream on Facebook and other social entities. We're running commercials. We play a lot of old school music and music from the 70s, 80s, a little bit of 90s. We talk about economic development, jobs. We talk about incarceration. We talk about single-parent moms. I talk about my grandfather, my dad, and my family on our radio broadcasts all the time. I educate young people who may not know of this history. The elders passed away, the community changed. A lot of people didn't keep their property. Now if you come to Tulsa and you go down on Black Wall Street, you'll see a little bitty small section of the remaining little buildings that were left down there. They ran a freeway through it, and just all of this gentrification, big old schools, and it's really kind of sad. The house has been around for a long time. They're thinking about even selling it, and I would hate for that to happen. I'm just gonna stay here as long as I can stay here, and try to keep the family legacy up and going. The Black Wall Street entrepreneurship that my grandfather had has influenced a lot of my family members. No matter where I may go in my life, I'll always have that spirit within my heart. We are still traumatized here in North Tulsa, Black Tulsa, from that massacre. When things like that happen in your community, you have to start doing healthy things like I'm doing the radio station. We got to talk about racism. We got to talk about the disparities of what has happened. If we don't discuss it, we can't grow. African Americans, we're more consumers. We got things going out, money going out rather than coming in. And when that happens, there's no economic development in the community. I just hope that people in the community take some of their finances and start the rebuild, purchase land. We can get into our communities and rebuild our communities.